Hey everyone, I'm back with a new video and it's kind of continuing a tradition because I did a similar video last year and I'm glad I could do it this year too without forgetting. So I'm going to talk about the best books I read in the first half of 2021. I set a goal of 50 books on Goodreads and ended up finishing 27 of them. Not so subtle brag. Anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna dive right into it and tell you the best books of 2021 that I read. So the very first book that I'm going to talk about is part of the ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I have been on and on and on about it on my Instagram. It's influenced me so much. I think the series is one of the most well-written ones. I never read Sarah J. Maas before, and because the last time I read a series like this was years ago. It was Vampire Academy. I will actually make a separate video on that one because I'm a total simp for that series. So the best book that I found was this one, A Court of Mist and Fury. ACOMAF, as it's fondly called, is such a beautiful love story and so much more than that. What I love about the book is that the protagonists and their stories take very unexpected turns. It's like an enemies to friends to lovers. It's so well done. Every single moment that they have together. There are some that are just pure love in each other's eyes. There are scenes where, of course, it gets steamy. And there are scenes where you see the characters sort of realizing how much they love the other person. So yeah, I think it's not essentially a romance book, but in the entire ACOTAR series it is the most romantic. Like in A Court of Thorns and Roses, you'll not see that much of romance as much as you see the characters setting up, and in A Court of Wings and Ruin, ACOWAR, you see, of course, there's a war coming and a lot of politics, a little bit of romance, but again a lot of setup happening for the next series, next part of the series of the books. But yes, Rhysand and Fair will always remain some of my most favorite characters. Rhysand is my book boyfriend, well, among many others, but it's such a beautiful book. That's all I can say about it. Like, pick up ACOTAR already. The other book that I have read, which is one of the best in the first half of this year, is quite unconventional. It has connections to Bollywood. It is written by someone who belongs to one of the families in Bollywood, and it's something that I grew up with, my entire generation grew up with. The book is called Ghosts in a Backyard. Now, the thing about this book is that the Ramsay brothers, if you've watched, like, if you know Bollywood, you know Ramsay brothers. They produced horror movies and they were quite popular through, I think, the 80s and the 90s. I have watched quite a few of them, and I used to be so scared as a child watching those. It was over the top, it was dramatic, it was every horror element added into it. So Ghosts in a Backyard is about the family, the Ramsay brothers, who experienced paranormal stuff while they produced and directed movies that dealt with paranormal and horror elements. So it's quite interesting. There is so many interesting stories. Like, some of them are cliches, definitely, but I enjoyed reading them. I really loved the fact that the author, Alisha Preeti Kirpalani, because this is such a well-written book. It's simple, it's to the point, and it does give you the creeps. There is like I said, there's a quintessential woman in the white sari. There are phantoms. There are these unexplained occurrences. There are stories around the graveyard, and there are some sort of telepathic phenomenons that are unexplained that you usually see on one of those paranormal reality shows and stuff like that. So there are incidences like that in the book. It's very well written. I really loved how she's presented every single member of her family, because I understand that writing about your family can become a challenge. She's also opened up quite a bit about the what the interpersonal relationships in the family were. I think that's very brave of her, because I think it does take a lot out of you when you're talking about your family and the interpersonal relationship, and exactly putting out how they experienced these paranormal activities. So I think Ghosts in Our Backyard, please pick it up if you love Bollywood, if you love horror. So the third book that I'm going to mention here is a rather interesting one, because it is written by one of my friends, one of my close friends. It's Intersections by Gautam Mengle. And I say that this is one of the most interesting books is because the plot here, it's so plot driven that I couldn't put it down. I had to finish it. It came to a point where I didn't want to do anything else but just sit and finish the book. It's a crime novel. I am very picky about the crime novels. I'm not that big a fan of the genre, but well, it's Gautam's book. Gautam is a crime reporter based in Bombay and one of the best ones. I've known him for a while now, and even his stories, that the articles that he writes are fantastic. Having his experience as a crime reporter translated into a book is so well done. I think when you're putting down your experience, it kind of becomes semi-autobiographical, and it becomes very difficult to sort of understand what the reader wants versus what you want to write. I think he's tackled it so well. The best part about the book is there are some really good bumper stickers for life in there, and Gautam has ruined some of my most favorite Hindi songs. You're gonna have to read it to know, and I'm probably never forgiving him for that. That being said, I've had one of the best laughs while reading it, but it does talk about a lot of dark themes. Trigger warning for all those who are going to pick up Intersections. There is alcohol abuse, there's sexual assault, and there's violence. So yeah, you might want to know that before you pick it up. The next one here is actually not one book. They are 7 books. They are not really a series in themselves. They are some of the most steamy romances that I have ever read in my life. Okay, I am a fan of smut, and I am a fan of good smut. I read 7 books of J.T. Geisinger back to back, thanks to Vishvi Gupta, shout out to you. I became an addict and I went on a complete smutty romance bender. I ended up reading 7 of her books. They were phenomenal, okay. I usually turn to Mills and Boon for romance because I don't want to really experiment as such with a lot of romance stuff. Like I have Jude Devereux and I have Nora Roberts and my designated romance authors, but this was something. I read 3 of her books from the Slow Burn series, which is Ache for You, Burn for You, and Melt for You. Sassy heroines, really killer comebacks that they give, and the heroes are all compassionate. They're not really problematic, not in this series at least. They're really the macho men, but with the softer side. The woman is not at all a damsel in distress. The women are complete in themselves. Some of them have enemies to lovers, some of them have friends to lovers, those kind of tropes. But so the other books that I read of hers, apart from the 3 Slow Burn series, were the Wicked series, which is, out of which I've read 2. There are 3 in the series. So there's Wicked Sexy and Wicked Beautiful. They're more racy, they're more on the tone of Sidney Sheldon, where there's a lot of romance, intrigue, there's a lot of chasing happening, there's a lot of crime undertone involved, and the sex is mind blowing. I cannot even think I think last year the one book that I read with insane smart was Credence, and I told you that there were a lot of taboo things in it, in Credence, and there were a lot of problematic things as well. But I still like that book, and like I said, I was going to hell for that.
I think I am in hell.
So okay, so there was the Wicked series. There's Cruel Paradise. So I think there was Beautifully Cruel is the name of the series. Let me just check. The name of the series is Beautifully Cruel. There's Cruel Paradise and Beautifully Cruel. Beautifully Cruel is the first one, followed by Cruel Paradise. This can be a little problematic because these are extremely alpha men who go after the women they want. The women are not the women are not damsels in distress. They are all feisty, they are kick-ass, they hold their own ground no matter where they come from, what they do. So I feel anyone who enjoys a good mafia plot is going to enjoy these books, the Beautifully Cruel series. So yeah, I ended up reading those, and so yeah, those were, I think, were they 7 books? Let me check.
Wicked, Sexy, Wicked, Beautiful, Cruel Paradise, Beautifully Cruel, Ache for You, Burn for You, and Melt for You. Yeah.
7 books. Another book that I read, one of the best I have read in 2021. It's already been talked about. I'm sure a lot of you have already read it as well, but I read it like somewhere earlier between March, and dealt with such severe existential crisis that I couldn't stop staring at the fan for hours at a stretch. I'm talking about Sapiens. It's so brilliant. It's about, of course, it's how humanity came into being, how humans, domesticated weed, or did weed domesticate them? There are several questions that you end up asking yourself: how civilizations were developed, how the civilizations fell, every single thing that led to the moment that where you're sitting, where I am sitting, every single thing that humanity's been through is mentioned there. How history repeats itself, how every mistake that men make has already been done before. It's so well done. It's like reading a research, but it's put so well. I mean, I don't have to say a lot of things about Sapiens. Like, Yuval Noah Harari is fantastic. So yeah, Sapiens happens to be a book that I will go back to someday because it is so highly packed with knowledge. I had to highlight. I was just, I think, sitting and highlighting furiously everything, because everything in the book is important. I legit became Alexis Rose, like whatever she's getting is highlighting. I think my Sapiens copy, if you see, it's full of highlights. One book that really changed my perspective on things, that I read at the very start of 2021, I read through Jan, is Becoming. This is the most gorgeous woman, the woman with the most substance, so inspiring, and she's set a path for millions. I've admired her ever since I've known about her. I mean, as much as I had read about her, and then her autobiography came out, and I read the whole thing, and I have never devoured an autobiography. I've never been so into non-fiction, but hers was a story that was brilliant, and it was told so well. Everything mentioned in the book, every hardship she's faced, everything that she's been through, everything she and her husband had gone through, her details about motherhood, about love, about marriage. What I really loved is, there's this scene between how she and Barack Obama got together, and it's such a sweet, simple love story, and I love it. I love love stories in any form. So for me, it was like, okay, wow. I don't know. I think all of us idolize them so much and put them on this pedestal that you sometimes forget that they can also have simple stories. And it was good to see that side of her where you could relate so much. You could actually relate a lot of emotions. She talks about loss, she talks about grief, she talks about her relationship with her parents, everything in there. It's It really moved me. Every person who can read should read Becoming. So those were the books that I read in the first half of 2021, and they were some of the best. And I really want to know what you read in through this year up till now. Drop the names in the comments, and also let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned in this list. Until then, bye.